Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deb. I am the owner and creator of Port City Slime and this YouTube channel, and today I'm going to teach you how to record slime videos, whether it be for your Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm going to give you some tips on how you can step up your game. So one of the things you're really going to need, no matter what, is a camera. I am using a Canon 70D, but you don't actually need a fancy DSLR like I have. You can use your camera phone. And when I first started, I actually used this because my camera was too heavy for the tripods I had. And so what I normally would do is I would take my phone, which happens to be an iPhone 7 Plus, and I would either like prop it up against something or I would tape it against something, and that's kind of what I used. But the next thing I do recommend is that you get a tripod. I actually have my camera mounted on a Sony tripod, which I will show you. But this was one of the first tripods I got. It is a Manfrotto tripod. It's really small. It's probably not even 6 inches. It might be more than that actually, but it's less than a foot, so it's really easy to travel with. You can just stick it in your backpack or purse and go on your way. Film your slime videos, go to your slime events. This one is the one I recommend. It also comes with this little attachment, and sorry, my cat is going off in the background, but it comes with this little attachment so you can use your phone. It will securely stay in there, and then you don't ever have to worry about your phone falling out or tipping over or cracking the screen or anything like that. It's also attached to this little mount, which I got from something called the Octopad. I don't know if it is still patent pending, but I bought it online over a year ago, and I don't really use that so much, but I do use the attachment that came with it. This tripod that I have right here is a Joby tripod. It's one of those that wraps around different things, and this is pretty helpful. It holds up my Canon 70D, which I know a lot of YouTubers have had issues with it, like tipping over their camera with a heavier lens. However, I don't really have problems with that because most of the time I am stationary. This also will fit in your backpack. I bring this when I travel places as well. It has a swiveling head, so you're able to tip your camera down at an angle so you can get all those good angles for your slime videos. You can also fasten it up, and it does have the capability to turn if you need to like pan or do anything creative like that. If you don't have any tripods, maybe you have a selfie stick. I would highly recommend that too, because if you have a selfie stick, you can use your phone. And then what you can do, I think Mushy Slime does this, or she did before she got her updated gear, is that she would like put it in a vase, put heavy rocks over it, that way the camera wouldn't tip over, and then you can just angle your selfie stick down at an angle. Video, I just wanted to say before we move on, if you leave a creative comment, you will be featured in the next video. Now, as this channel starts to grow, there's going to be more and more comments, and I won't really be able to accommodate for all of them, but I will be highlighting the ones that I think are the best. So here are some of the comments from the last video, which is also going to be linked up at the top. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and go find me on Instagram. This is my softbox light. I purchased this off of Amazon. I will leave it in the description below. I'm not actually sure how much it cost, but I know it was enough for me to only buy one. Alright, while Monroe is catching bugs, I'm gonna kind of explain to you what I would do in this situation. So as you can see at the bottom right there, there is a little bit, like the sun is bouncing off of the tile, which makes it kind of like you can see the outside. So what I would do is I would just move the tile maybe over there, or maybe put it on my bed, or bring the blinds down and like close them a little bit. That way the light is not reflecting off of the tile. Don't worry, my cat is not near any of these slimes when I sell them. I just let him in here so he wouldn't be so annoying. This is a little bit too high of an angle for me. Even if I decide to go in and use some software, I generally edit with Adobe Premiere Pro just because I get that as a student. Some people might use Final Cut Pro or even iMovie. I started out with iMovie, and it's a perfectly adequate tool for making slime videos. You really don't need anything fancy. I know a lot of people use InShot as well on their iPhones, and I believe you can get that on Android as well. There we go. So now that this is at the perfect height that I want it at, I can take my lens and zoom in to crop, or I can keep it out and crop it later, but either way, this is exactly where I want it. So then what I'll do is, I don't do anything crazy. I'll just get my slime out, which this is actually a test slime, and this is Honey Almond Soft Serve, which I do have in my store right now, my Etsy shop, which is linked in the description. Please, please, please excuse my lens. It is so loud. Then I just start swirling and pressing. And my recommendation is to go slow. You can go back on my Instagram and find that a lot of my videos are not that great. And it's because I too had to learn all of this. Like, sorry, I highly recommend natural light over artificial light, and believe it or not, a lot of people think when it's overcast that is the worst time to film videos, but it is actually the best time because that's when the image will look most flat. You don't want a lot of sunlight, honestly, because that's when there starts to get a lot of difference in contrast between your videos. And so unless you are constantly editing in the sunlight, then it's not really that beneficial for you to always film in the sunlight. I always film on cloudy days. It is 100% the best time for me to film, especially being here in North Carolina, because the weather is so unpredictable, and for the last week, it has actually been cloudy. I will show you. So this is what it's been looking outside for the last week. I don't really have the option for natural light all of the time as far as sun goes. So gray skies are actually the best time for me to film. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I am very appreciative of every single like, comment, and subscriber that I get to this channel. And the more this channel grows, the better I can help you. So just, leave a creative comment. You will be featured in the next video. And tell me a video you would be interested in watching, because I like making videos, so I want to make things for you, the viewer, that you enjoy. But so I had to turn on my softbox because it got a little bit dark outside, and I will say that I think it looks pretty good right now. But one of the first things I talked about, if you're just skipping towards the end, is you're probably going to need a tripod. If you don't have a tripod, I highly recommend you get one, whether it's a little one like this or a big one like my Sony tripod that I showed you. Then you're going to need a camera. I have a DSLR. Oh my God, why can't I talk? I have a DSLR camera, which is the Canon 70D. And then I have my cell phone that I use sometimes, and honestly, sometimes this is the better option because you're always gonna have your phone with you. You can just shove this in your backpack, head to conventions, and then you're good to go. You can also get one of these, probably find it on Amazon or Best Buy. And then the next thing I talked about was artificial light versus sunlight. That is really up to you and what you find aesthetically pleasing. I personally like natural light, but I know a lot of people don't have time during the day to record their slime videos, and I happen to be a college student, and so most of the time I can record videos during the day, and I prefer to do so. However, if I don't have that time, or if you don't have that time, you can use an artificial light. And your softbox, a ring light, those aren't your only options. When I first started out, I actually used a lamp, and I either propped it up against something or I had someone hold it, and you just have the lamp facing toward your slime, and that'll kind of act as your main light. So keep in mind, you just have to be creative with things if you don't have them, because we were all beginners once. I myself am still a beginner, but when I first started recording slime videos, I really didn't have anything. So I just propped my phone up against stuff, or I just figured out a way. And so I'm hoping that this video will be helpful to you. Please let me know if it is. So like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go find me on Instagram. And we're definitely a community here, so let's continue to be friends.